Hello there, and welcome to the Bearded Peacock. It's my channel where we talk all things Leeds United and Leeds fans. Leeds have won again over the week, and I know this is a little bit late. It's a match reaction to the win at Molineux on Saturday, but it's the international break, and I think we're all still buzzing off that fantastic win. March the 18th is fast becoming slaying Wolverhampton Wanderers Day, isn't it? We did it last year. And now we did it again this year. 3-2 last year. We went one better and beat them 4-2 in their own backyard. Exactly a year from the last time we did it. And amazingly, three of the scorers that evening last year, that Friday night last year, scored in this win on Saturday. Obviously, Bill Ayling, Rodrigo, and Jack Harrison on the score sheet then, all on the score sheet on Saturday, and it yielded another 3 points for Leeds United. 3 points that have been very, very scarce of late, but now looks like it's improving all the time. Javi Gracia seems to have Leeds United playing, with more confidence. The fans on the whole seem a little bit more confident. I am myself a little bit more confident than I was even after the Southampton win. I feel like we've really, starting to look a bit more solid and, more confidence going forward. That's 6 goals now scored in 2 games. Before, before the Brighton game, it was, I think, was it 1 goal in 5 games or something like that. So, yeah, looking better. They seem to have the mojo back, the striking options. Players coming back from injury like Rodrigo, Sinisterra. You know, Overall, I thought, this game, let's get into the game, then I'll have a look at the goals. Then I will have a look at the incidents because there were some incidents that I know Wolverhampton Wanderers fans have not been very happy with. So we'll get into them. But let's just overall thoughts. Yeah, I thought Leeds were under the cosh for a lot of the game by the look of it. Um, First half especially had to defend very well, but Max Vober did do very well on the whole. And defensively, we were pretty sound in that first half. Obviously, we got the goal 1-0 up. Like I say, I'll go through the goals in just a minute in a little bit more detail. But we got the goal. We looked pretty solid defensively. It looked like a perfect sort of an away performance, if you like. Um, got the goal, nicked the goal, early goal, sat in, frustrated Wolves, if you like, soaked up their pressure. They didn't really have enough quality going forward. If you've got to be honest about that. They're struggling for goals as well, so it was no surprise really that they couldn't hit the net. They had some fantastic opportunities, to be fair, and also some fantastic looking balls into the box and things that they didn't take advantage of. I think, in the whole game had 4 shots and scored them all. So very clinical, which is unlike Leeds United, but it was really great to see, and just great relief at the end of the game because when you see going to 3-2, as soon as they scored that first one, even I thought, here we go. There's plenty of time for them to get back into it. Luckily for us, they were just one short of getting back into it before we put the seal on it with a fourth goal from Rodrigo. But yeah, fantastic. I think we're looking like we're going in the right direction. Hopefully, a little bit of a break now. Get working on more tactically, more things that Javi can get across to them. I know there's not that many going on international duty. There is a few, but there isn't that many of them, so they can get down into Thorpe Arch, sorry, and really get into some tactical things that he wants them to do and improve on because we weren't perfect in that performance. Plenty of things to improve on. I thought defensively we got worse as the game went on, but in the end we got over the line. So let's have a look at the goals. And the first one, Willing on to it's a lovely ball. I think it's Robin Koch, who like a really long diagonal ball across to Willing onto on the left hand side, and just give it to Willie. You know what I mean? We know now he will produce something that is going to lead to an opportunity for Leeds United, and it did. He skinned Semedo, had too much pace for Semedo, played it across, and there was Jack Harrison running onto it to finish with his left foot into the top corner. Really, I mean, great start. I thought we started well in this game and sort of faded as the first half went on. It was a great start. This looking at the second one, obviously we go in 1-0 up at the break. And the second one, just a few minutes into the second half, as we did the first half, scored only a few minutes in. And it's Bill Ayling. He couldn't miss, really. I don't know what the defenders are doing. If you're Wolves, you're fuming. I mean, any Wolves fans find yourself watching this, let me know your thoughts on this. Will you stay up? I think you will. I know a lot of fans I've seen don't think they will do, but I think they've got enough to stay up, Wolves. Um, I don't know what the defence were doing on this corner kick from Mark Rocker, though. It just bounces all the way through to Luke Ayling, who has a free header at the far post and just nods it in. I think Sarr gets a hand to it, doesn't he? But it goes in and it's 2-0 and early knock into the second half. Does the roly-poly Robbie Keane, the somersault kind of thing, and as he did at the same at the same side of the pitch in last season's win there, didn't he? I think that was a bit of a mock-up of it, wasn't it? And the away end is massive, isn't it, at Molineux? Goes basically the whole of that lower tier of that stand. And they're going bonkers, aren't they, at 2-0? And it just gets better for Leeds. Christensen comes on 20 seconds later. The ball's in the back of the Wolves net again. And this was great to see. I know a lot of Wolves fans are complaining about Johnny his particular performance overall, but in this particular incident, in this moment as well, he's not strong enough with Christensen. Christensen's a big unit of a bloke, and he just wasn't strong enough. He got Christensen's like poking the ball through his legs and muscling him off the ball. It was great to see from our perspective, but from a defensive perspective, you can see why everybody's pretty much disappointed with that. He muscles him off the ball. He then puts it to the side of one defender to the right hand side and then slots it through the goalkeeper's legs. It's lovely. It's a lovely finish for his first of the season. Delight for him because, and first for the club as well. Sorry. So yeah, delight for Christensen. He's had a little bit of a bad time of it since he's come in, lost his place in the side, and you know, by all accounts, he's always encouraging the other players on the pitch and got the right attitude by the sound of it, which is what you want. And obviously, comes on. You can see the delight on the lad's face when he scores, and again puts his arms up in front of the away. And I don't think anybody could quite believe, it was a 6-pointer this, and Leeds United looked to be breezing it really until the next few minutes. Obviously, we'll cover the Wolves goals as well. I think if we'd have held on to 3-0 for another kind of 10 minutes after we'd scored the third, I think it would have gone on to be obviously pretty comfortable. As it was, a few minutes after we got the third, Johnny makes it 3-1, and then you start to twitch a little bit, don't you, and think, we know what Leeds are like, particularly this season. We've given away leads in the past, and uh, this to be 3-0 up and to let it slip to maybe a point would have been unforgivable. And it's a shocking goal to concede, really. I don't know why Melier isn't on his line and just, calmly lets the ball come into his hands. He decides to run out and header the ball clear, which would have been okay if Mark Rocker would have been looking where he passed the ball. He just blindly, volleys it to one side to his left hand side, and who's on it but Johnny to volley it in from a long distance, loops over Melier, who's running back towards his goal and into the net, and you think, oh dear me, the nerves are starting to go a little bit there. And then it goes 3-2 in the 73rd minute. It's Mateus Cunha, who obviously we were after in January, if reports can be believed. Yeah, it's a messy goal. It's on the edge of the box, isn't it? Cunha takes a bit of a speculative effort. It goes off Wolber, deflects, wrong foots Melier, and it's 3-2. And with 15 minutes or so, 17 minutes to go, you're just thinking, you just know what's going to happen. It's going to end 3-all. Well, not this time. Leeds United managed to weather a bit of a storm from Wolves in that closing sort of 15 minutes, and then in injury time, the 7th minute of injury time, we make the game safe. It's Rodrigo, and it's great to get him on the score sheet again, to have him back playing. 11 goals now for the season for him. I think that's his by far his best in a Leeds United shirt so far of his previous 2 seasons. So he's having a good season. We really need him in this run in now. But it's a lovely finish as well. But that's just what we were lacking in these games that he's been out. A finisher. And he knows how to finish. It was a lovely dinked finish from Rod, and he goes off, runs off, blasts the ball into the stands, and beats his chest of the Leeds crest, and it's 4-2, and then it's relief, pure relief. We've won the game. It's a massive result. We go into 14th position, just a place behind Wolves and a point behind them now. Any Wolves fans, like I said, let me know. Are you getting a bit twitchy and looking over your shoulders? It's only one win in six now for Wolves. Yeah, whereas we, like I said, that point up against Brighton at Ellen Road last Saturday is looking like a exceptionally good point now as well, with the win against Wolves added on to it as well. We've got a bit of a break now towards the Arsenal game. I mean, I will go on and have a look at some of these incidents, because some really good finishes there for Leeds United, and some defensively obviously sloppy goals to concede. But it won't be Leeds United if it wasn't. For we're conceding sloppy goals. We do it all the time. But yes, we'll look at the incidents. There was one in the 8th minute or something. The penalty shout for Wolves. I'm being honest. The first look, I thought it was a penalty. Firpo looks to me to be slightly late to the ball. He does catch Semedo, but I think what saves him is he gets his studs, just brushes his studs onto the ball before that contact is made. But to be honest with you, yeah, it's a very difficult one. I think I'd be shouting for it if it was going for us and our player down in the box. I think it was borderline penalty. I can't believe it went to VAR and they didn't give it, to be honest with you. Um, I'm just going to say I don't think it was, but on initial looking, viewing, I thought it was. But looking at the replays, he just gets his studs on the ball before the con. It's very soft either way, isn't it? It would have been soft, but soft penalties happen all the time now in the Premier League. It's a weekly occurrence. So I think we were a little bit lucky, given what it is now, football, to get away with that one. What else was the? I mean, the red card for Dawson. I feel it was 100%. It was. I know Harrison slips, and I'm thinking, oh, he's lost the ball, but then you see Dawson go over the top of him. It's a red card. It's similar to the one that Johnny got sent off for. For me, yeah. I know the referee didn't cover himself in glory in this game, but again, it's another one for me that he got wrong. It should have been a red card. He went over the ball. Obviously hurt Harrison. He was on the floor, batting the ground for a while, wasn't he? So it obviously hurt him. It was a red card, and obviously he had one a couple of minutes later with Bamford, didn't he? A tussle on the edge of the box, and he got away without a yellow card. He obviously got a yellow card for that challenge on Harrison, and yeah, he was subbed at half time. Obviously Lopetegui, who was going mental at that penalty, the lack of that penalty given, wasn't he? Absolutely mental in the rain, wasn't he? But yeah, look, for me, that's a red card for Dawson. It wasn't given. He gets hooked off at half time for Collins. And maybe that's why it worked in our favour. They maybe wasn't set up right for that corner kick, because it was so early on in the second half. But yeah, and the most laughable one for me is the fourth goal, than wanting a free kick for Traore. Play to the whistle, man. That's what you're told as a kid playing football. Play to the whistle. Don't stop. Don't stop running. If he'd have continued running, maybe he Muscles, Cree Somerville off the ball, and that goal doesn't happen. We've got to be proactive, not reactive, and he just stopped. There was a tug on his shirt from Rocker. I'm amazed again it went to VAR and he still gave the goal. So in a sense we've got a bit lucky. I mean that was ticking way on towards the end of the game. Maybe it'd have been academic at the end of the game, but for me it is a tug on the shirt. I think the thing is maybe even if he doesn't stop, he might get that given for him, but it's so minuscule to be fair. And like I've seen a lot of people say since, things like that happen all the time in a football match, and don't get given. If you were giving them all the time, you know, you'd be giving penalties, free kicks, red cards. There'd be no players on the pitch left at the end of every game. So I think it was a little bit silly in the way they went on about it because I think there was a couple of ones in the Wolves penalty area, tugs on our players' shirts, this, that, and the other, which, you know, were they red cards? Were they penalty kicks? You know what I mean? It swings and roundabouts, but at that point as well, maybe the game is gone as well. There can't have been much left to play. He gives maybe on alternative universe he gives a free kick. Wolves blast it up the pitch and the final whistle goes anyway. So, we'd have still won the game. But yeah, look, I don't agree with some of the referee decisions. I'll be honest. I don't know if there was one or two more, maybe as well. It was a jam-packed, full, incident-full game, wasn't it? But I think Wolves are sort of deflecting the fact that they were poor, finishing. They were poor defensively. Errors all over the pitch. Obviously, there was that red card for Johnny, which obviously was a red card, did go to VAR. No complaints. You can't have any complaints about that. He went well over the ball. Could have, really hurt Ayling on another day. Smashed into his shins, really, didn't he? So, nasty tackle, deserved the red card. For me, again, though, the referee should have seen that or should have had help to see that in the first place. I think the referee, Michael Salisbury from Preston, isn't he, from Lancashire, didn't cover himself in glory in this one. It wouldn't surprise me if he was off duty in the next round of games, which is obviously not this weekend, the following weekend, where we have Arsenal. Just let me know your comments. Obviously, and your thoughts. We don't play again till the 1st of April now. And it's another win for Leeds United wearing the home kit. All of our wins have come wearing the white home strip. So long may it continue. But we have to win, surely. We have to win at some point wearing an away or third shirt. Let's wait and see. But yeah, like I said, I know it's Tuesday. I know it's a few days after the game. But I wanted to give my thoughts on it. It's a massive result for Leeds and hopefully we can build on it. Something to build on. Let's wait and see. Any Wolves fans, like I said, let me know what you're thinking in the comments as well. Will you stay up? I believe you will. I actually think we both will, both of those teams. There's a long way to go. Again, I'm not getting too ahead of ourselves with that win because we all know it can change so quickly. There's so little amount of points in it. Let me know your comments. Thank you very much for watching. Come on, Leeds. Let's have another win against topping Arsenal in a couple of weeks' time. Thanks very much for watching. Marching on together. I'll see you on the next one. Congratulations if you've made it to the end because I've gone on for nearly 20 minutes. Cheers. See you on the next one.